Okay.
Okay.
Okay, fine. Are we all game? Are we all game? Okay.
Yeah, I think it's okay.
India, good afternoon Ghana, good afternoon Nairobi, good afternoon Cameroon, and good afternoon to the US and the UK. Thank you all for making up time in very busy schedules so we can have a jam on nonviolence, an international day set aside to commemorate Mahatma Gandhi, the man who in a gentle way shook the world. And that's why even 181 years after we continue to celebrate him, we continue to remember him, and we want to go by his values. My name is Amybanda. I'm a co-host of this event organized by Target Peace from Cameroon. Our hostess Roshani from India, and we're so glad to have you all joining us to share those values that we promote each time, that we want each and every person to connect with, so we can have a beautiful world, we can have a better world. I just want to say good afternoon to you all. I may want to begin with Roshani. Good afternoon. Thanks for being our host today.
Thank you, Amy. Thank you very much. Extremely happy and honored to be with all of you. And I ask you to commence the beautiful event today to celebrate Gandhi Jayanti, the 151st birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi.
So happy Gandhi Jayanti Day. That's how you say it in India, right?
Yes.
Thanks for having us on your forum. I want to say hi to my good friend in Ghana, Akwaba Tega King, President of the International Association for Youth and Students, running for peace.
Good afternoon.
How is Accra, Ghana today?
Oh, we are very good. We are doing well. It's just what is not moving on well is the network. That's exactly why it is very important that we keep on with these kinds of efforts, because they will go a long way to shape the continent of Africa, and maybe something good in the future will come up even in the technological sphere. It's a beautiful day in Ghana.
And brother, we're going to start the event with you, giving us a word of prayer. Because before I come to you, Sylvia is another good mind like yours, just joining us from Amybanda, the capital of the Northwest region. Hi, Sylvia. Thanks for joining us.
Hello, Amy. Hello to everybody. This is such a wonderful event to be a part of with people from all continents, a lot of the continents. Yes, today is actually a cold day in Bamenda, but we're doing this anyway. Hello to everyone. Happy to be here.
Thank you much, Sylvia. And Mo Harriet is joining us from Buea, the capital of the Southwest region. I wish I could say it in your dialect, but good afternoon and welcome. Hi, Harriet.
I'm glad that we are here today to share.
Okay, thanks so much for joining us. I can also see Nalela, although I no longer see her. I'd rather see Alfredo Nitaden. Hi, Nitaden. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. With a word of prayer from our good friend and brother from Accra, Ghana. On the 21st of, before the 21st of September, he organized a very unique event, bringing together contestants from all of Ghana with very ingenious ideas to protect the climate and promote peace. And there were three wonderful victors of this event. I remember the last is when I was coaching a little girl, 10-year-old. That's how I got to know Tega King. He's such a visionary leader, and he's doing really, really well for Ghana and Africa. I also know he's a man who fears God. So I want to invite you, brother, to start this occasion with a word of prayer.
Let us pray. Beloved Heavenly Parents, our Heavenly Father, We're so grateful for this moment. You've given us an opportunity to meet as brothers and sisters from all across the globe. Let everyone who is here see this opportunity as the opportunity to make one little change, one step towards change, towards a better world, towards a peaceful world. We are celebrating the life of an exceptional human being today, and we really do believe that this celebration of the life of Mahatma Gandhi will be one of the things or the impetus that will enable us to take these necessary steps towards a peaceful world. We pray that you will be from the beginning, the middle, to the end of the program. Please ignite a fire of peace all across the globe, even through this program. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. No, that's it. Thank you so much. And I will just connect to Roshani. Good afternoon. Thanks for coming. I know immediately we talked because you also value Mahatma Gandhi. World, and so many decades after continues to inspire many people towards non-violence. And we take from him, non-violence is the strongest weapon we could ever have on planet Earth. We retain from him, love is the most precious gift we have on planet Earth. We also retain from him the change we want to see. Good afternoon, sister from India. Let us hear from you.
Thank you so much, Amy, for this. And it is indeed an honor and privilege to be there with all of you. And as we know, there is a beautiful, strong connect with Africa as well, with Mahatma Gandhi. So having this, merger of doing this event today, I thank you for thinking of me and bringing me on board this wonderful forum with all you incredible souls. So I would like to begin my sharing today on the basis of something that I propagate at all times and practice, more importantly, at all times. And that is practical spirituality. So I would begin with some hashtags. Hashtag I change to change India. I change to change the world. Hashtag individual, socio, spiritual responsibility. So with this, I begin with a very big namaste to all of you. This is Roshanishenazz from Mumbai. I'm deeply honored to be a part of this powerhouse forum of people and host each one of you for this empowering session by Target Peace Africa. Thank you, Amy, and our revered friend who began this journey with the prayer. So, answering my sister Amy's question on beginning this, discussion on peace and Mahatma Gandhi, I would like to share a few thoughts. We all want to do so many things to change the world. But I ask myself daily, what is that one thing or habit that I can change or drop, which is no more serving me or the world? We are constantly whining and cribbing, fighting and revolting about this or that and the government and everything else. Never are we stopping for a moment to think, how am I contributing to all this mayhem? Whether or not I am a part of the problem or the solution, if any. Through my spiritual journey since 2009, I unraveled these hidden treasures of practical spirituality thanks to my master, my God, Avatar Meher Baba. I have learned that it is more important on how you do things than simply doing them for the sake of it. In 1931, Meher Baba was traveling on the same ship SS Rajputana as Mahatma Gandhi. On the night of September 8th, Mahatma Gandhi came to Meher Baba's cabin with his secretary Mahadev Desai. And after Mahatma Gandhi was introduced to Baba, he looked at Meher Baba and then said, I have read much about you and wanted to see you one day when God willed it. But I never expected to be so soon. Through the next few days on the ship, they met several times, and Meher Baba shared with Gandhiji about writing of a very special book besides other topics that they discussed. Baba, although would not let anyone read it, often traveled with this book. He specially gave Gandhiji the manuscript pages for reading. Concerning his activities, later Gandhiji remarked to Meher Baba, saying, "Whatever I do, I take upon myself the responsibility for it. Though in the end, internally I leave everything to God, I cannot shirk my responsibility. Except for God, it is my conviction that I cannot disavow my responsibility." What a powerful quote and share through this statement that Mahatma Gandhi gave. In a six-pointed discourse called My Wish by Meher Baba, the first one states, "Do not shirk your responsibilities." And that is what Gandhiji did till the end. He carried out his responsibilities till he succeeded in gaining that long-awaited freedom for the largest democracy in the world. Now imagine if Gandhiji would not do it and say, let someone else do it. Or what if others did not wake up to their own responsibilities that Gandhiji had helped them to ignite? The answer is, my friends, we are our own saviors. We may get the knowledge, the nudge, or the push from wise sages, leaders, or God Himself. But unless and until we believe and live that unless we individually change, we cannot expect any transformation within or around us in life, in society, or the world. All through my work, I endeavor to emphasize the onus of change lies through practical living spirituality. To be aware and mindful of our daily activities, intentions, thoughts, words, and everything that we think, speak, and do. So on this platform today, I urge for each of us to look into our lives and see, are you living through love and peace or hate and disruption? Are you perpetuating through your words and actions that which can spread happiness or suffering? Are you the ambassador of peace, respect, honor, and acceptance? Or are you the one fueling hate, chaos, unforgiveness, discrimination, and intolerance in any way? The answers you get should be a great beginning to create that very change you desire to see. I end my sharing and give it back to Amy to take this session further. Thank you so much, everyone. Amy, please unmute.
Oh, thank you so much. Is that okay? Is that okay?
Yes.
I'm so happy after listening to talk and saying up to that we must not choke our responsibilities because we are our own saviors and we must do everything to ensure that we are living true love and peace, and we are the reasons why people smile around us to become better versions of themselves. And we're going to invite Harriet Moore from the southwest region of Cameroon. She has a beautiful poem on nonviolence, and she's Mahatma Gandhi. Hello, Harriet.
Hello, Amy. Non-violent for practice. So I grew up this point to just another life as non-violent. Violence is worthless, came to us and had all at it, which acquire what it has. We never have to all lie alone to be covered up. Then so we are obliged to think humanity first. And loving one another will ignite peace and shake the prevalence of violence amongst us. Of essence, understand how short and meaningless life is. Inflicting pain on others is disgusting. It's yet a great move to ensure their spare and destroy peaceful coexistence. Until love, peace, togetherness remain a failure, violence is worthless. Share with others. Love humanity. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Harriet, for joining us with those beautiful words, reminding us of how precious and important this individual was and is still in our lives. Permit me welcome a brother from another home, from Ghana. I would simply say Aquaba because I don't find the exact words to describe you. But one thing you must know is you are the change you want to see. And of course, via your works, we retain also that non-violence is the most powerful weapon, and we can be the saviors we choose to be on planet Earth. Hello, Tega King. Thanks for joining us. You might have to unmute your microphone. Thank you. Beautiful.
Oh, sorry about that. Thank you, Ami. Thank you to everyone who is here today. I'm so honored to be in this distinguished or on this distinguished panel. I really believe that before we leave here today, we must have learned one or two things from each other. When I had the quote from Ami, exactly what she would have loved me or she wants me to talk about, I saw this quote to be very, very interesting. It talks about silence, making change, shaking the world in silence. I mean, in a silent way, how you can change the world or shake the world in a silent way. And she said I could elaborate on that. And I was thinking, how can somebody stay silent and make a change in the world? Of course, staying silent in this context is not like just be somewhere in a room in an isolated area. Is everybody hearing me? If you're not hearing me, what I can do is to turn off my video. When we turn off the videos, we got more space for us to get the voices heard or the sound to come out. If you are not hearing me, let me know so that I don't speak in the air. Is everyone hearing? Okay.
We have.
All right, beautiful. Okay, so how do we make a change? How do we make a change in silence? And when I started pondering on that, it dawned to me that we can make a change in different formats silently. And I listed some few things and I want to go through those things so that even if at the end of the program, some people want to have the material, they can have it. Of course, we can make change. We can make a change. We can shake the world through meditation. We can shake the world through the declarations of decrees and declarations from our mouth, or the pronunciations of decrees and declarations from our mouth. We can make a change through prayers. We can make change through service. And even most importantly, we can make change through education. So these 5 models of making change are universal. I think they're universal. And when I look at the medium through which these 5 vessels or these 5 items can impact the world in making change, I saw that writing is one of them. You can write to have a silent change. You can change a lot of people's lives through writing. You can speak through the media. You can speak, in other words, media is a form or a forum to change people's lives silently, especially the social media at this point in time. For me, what we have in our hands presently is a weapon of revolution, especially for Africans. There's a lot we can change around the globe just using what we have in our hands. It's a very powerful weapon. Of course, it's a good one if it is used by good people, but it becomes extremely dangerous as well when it's in the hands of the vice. We can use medium of clubs, organizations, associations to be able to convey our messages through our mouth to change people or to make a change. And even more importantly, we can use the schools. School, where we go to school, that's where I talk about the number 5 up was education. Therefore, we can use the aspect of schools or opening schools, creating educational facilities for people to be transformed. That's a way of making or shaking the world silently. And then even more importantly, or even more important, is the family, which sometimes we neglect because it's the first school and it is the school of love. In my curriculum for the International Association for Youth and Students for Peace, we have a curriculum we call character education. In the character education, we have a book called Knowing the Real Me and other books. But with these books or with these curriculum, we identify 4 main types of realms of heart that the family ought to embody to be able to make a change in the society, even within the family itself. And the first of these realms of the heart is called the filial heart. A child grows up knowing nothing but what the parents teach him or her. As a baby, the parents are your God. Just everything that say is what you want to hear and is what is correct. In fact, your father is the most powerful person in the whole world. Your mother is the most beautiful woman in the whole world. No one is like your parents. And it is in this family, therefore, that character and other attributes are embedded in the children. Therefore, when we talk about change, therefore, we're talking about is something that is not just exclusive to an individual or one person sitting in the room and advocating change, but it goes beyond that. And therefore, even if you're an individual person, you still would need somebody who is going to create your family, a family of yours. You came from a family. And therefore, change cannot, shaking the world cannot happen in the blue by just individuals. Of course, it starts there. But look at what happens. Look at the chain of these hearts I'm talking about, these various realms of hearts, where you have, first of all, the filial heart, which I just talked about. And then the child grows up knowing that the parents are supposed to be served. When he serves the parents adequately, then he develops the character to be able to love other parents out there, the people he meets, great grandparents, parents who look like his parents. If he cannot serve, if he cannot respect, if he cannot love his own parents, now sorry for using my left. In Ghana, we don't use the left to show any sign. You must always use your right. So if he cannot respect his parents at home, he cannot respect anybody. And any respect outside would be superficial. And such respect will be targeting something in return and cannot last. It can't be sustainable. Therefore, such persons cannot make impact that can last in the society. Impact is made when there is, first of all, impact made within the self. So if we miss the point miss the point of serving our parents, we've missed it all, almost everything. It will mean that the second part of it, which is the second realm of heart, which is relating with one another, brothers and sisters. Here we talk about the fraternal heart, the fraternal realm of heart. In the fraternal realm of heart, brothers and sisters need to demonstrate service to each other. When a child is growing up in the family, he's alone. They give everything to him. But when the second child comes, see this jealousy comes about. You see that the child is all about me. Me is me. So he wants even to if possible, eliminate the second child. so that he remains the central person. This is what the parents are supposed to. The parents begin to train the child. No, you must give. Life is not about taking. It's about giving. Life is about giving, service, sacrifice for the other. It's about love. But the love that makes more impact is when you give, not when you receive. So living for the sake of the greater good, living for the sake of the family, living for the sake of your brothers, that is what you are taught as a child, as you begin to grow up, to be able to love at the level of the fraternal heart. In other words, loving your brothers and sisters or your siblings. Then we go to the next. I hope my time is not up. Then we go to the next point. If this child who is being trained in the house is able to love his brothers and sisters adequately, sincerely, then such a person can become a good husband. So we enter into a realm we call the conjugal heart. In the conjugal heart, the child who was trained by the parents is now preparing to become a parent. Therefore, he turns around and begins to love the wife or the husband the way he was taught to love his brothers and sisters, to serve them the way he is supposed to love his brothers and sisters. But when he misses this one in his house, you can imagine what will happen. That's exactly why you have all the divorce that you have all around the world. There's not going to be any peace. There's not going to be any sustainable peace in the family. There's not going to be, and this cycle is very vicious because this individual who is dysfunctional because he came from a dysfunctional family is going to also create a dysfunctional family because he doesn't know the love he should give to the parents or to the children. He doesn't relate to the wife or to the husband as it's supposed to be, as a husband and the wife should relate. Then at the end of the day, this person cannot also relate to the children adequately, giving the love that he's supposed to give to the children. Love and life is all about sacrifice. That is it, service. The underlying word inside love and service and whatever is called sacrifice. So the fourth realm of heart, which is definitely the last realm, is the what we call the parental heart. The parental heart is when you have your children. But at the level of the conjugality, if you are not able to love your husband or your wife very well, there's a lot that is going to go wrong in the family because your attitude towards your wife will affect the children. This is why we have all the problems that we have in the developed worlds, in the non-developed worlds, in the third and second worlds. This is why we have the problems that we have, because there is some dysfunctionality somewhere. Something went wrong somewhere. Am I making some sense here? Am I making any sense, Banda?
You're making sense, brother.
And I'm out of my time.
You can
I
round up.
Let me round up.
Yes.
Thank you so much. All right. So how do we solve this problem which is intrinsically a human problem, because it's become part and parcel of or it has become something in the human stream, where one dysfunctional family that we know about, certain family that is inscribed in the scriptures as the first family, Adam and Eve, and this family couldn't make it. This was the first dysfunctional family, and it has created all this dysfunctionality all around the globe. So we need a model. We need models, not only at the level of someone who comes as an individual, but models who come as parents, who can set up the standard for the family. That is what we need. And that is exactly what will solve mankind's problems. We've had, in our own expression and our own realms of understanding and certain things, we found a couple. They call them Reverend and Mrs. Moon. We call them the true parents. They've laid a certain foundation which they want all humanity to follow, at which we can give them some small trial. We can try that and see how it comes, how it goes. We have come to understand that God had a vision, and that in the vision, woman was in the plan of God. Woman was not just something that just came, oh, he's alone, okay, let me create a woman, just as if God never had the vision and plan in the creation. So the whole aspect of humanity is around the family. And when we put the woman right, what she's supposed to hold and have in the family, when we put the man right, what he's supposed to be in the family, when we put the children what they're supposed to be in the family, then the society can also be affected. In other words, we'll have this ripple effect from the society to the nation, and to the world. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, brother. I would say Mandasi. I think this is an illustration to the fact that you are the change you want to see. If you have any questions, you can just write inbox so that we will take the questions 10 minutes to the top of the hour, and you will tell us who your question is addressed to so that the speaker can come back and attend your question. After listening to our brother from Ghana, Tika King, whom I recommend you hook up with, so that you can learn a lot from him even after this non-violence jam. I want to invite a young girl. I have never met her in person. It's interesting. Almost all of the speakers, I have practically not met almost all of you, but we share values. We have principles that bond us, and we all want to see this world a better and brighter place tomorrow. Sylvia is one of those ladies I have been hooking up with for more than 3 years. I hope I'm correct. And each time I give her a call for anything, whether Sylvia is in the kitchen, or she's writing a report, or she's at the council doing communication, or she's even at a wedding ceremony, she has time to add some sugar into that cup of coffee to make it very palatable for whoever is going to drink. I discussed with Sylvia just yesterday, and believe me, you more than 50 people you see on the campaign are people that connected you as Sylvia because they showed interest in taking part in the white campaign celebrating Mahatma Gandhi today. I don't find the exact words to describe your kid sister. I know Cameroon is proud of you because you are the change you want to see. Good afternoon, Sylvia. Thanks for joining us.
All right, good afternoon, Amy. Wow, very kind words. Thank you. Just to say that my background may be getting a little very busy very soon. So if that happens, I may have to turn off my video. I hope that everyone is comfortable with that. Okay, so I am a journalist and I'm a writer, and I currently live in the crisis-hit town of Porbandar, northwest region of Cameroon, which has been brought to its knees economically through ghost towns every now and then, socially through numerous deaths in many forms, guns, miming, and a lot more. Hate speech, which has been very instrumental in causing offline violence. Academics have met its lowest point in this town for 4 years now, which was never the case because this was rather known as the citadel of learning in the whole country. And since the crisis started, almost every family has been hit one way or the other, and almost everyone has a logical reason to fight back. But through all of these things, I want to say that the things that are making this town find its feet again are not court cases or judgments of who is right and who is wrong. There's little acts that are bringing back the peace, little acts like the back to school campaign that a lot of journalists and bloggers are currently doing now to be able to give hope to the population and the inhabitants. It's the authorities being promptly present in areas of disaster, which gives the people a sense of love and gives them a sense of belonging to a particular place. I'm mentioning all of these things because these are not things that were common in our communities, so that is what's changing for us. It's the things that are bringing peace back. It's also journalists reporting stories that are balanced and true. And the current that connects all of what I've just said is communication. It's talking and it's dialoguing. And the peace that we're looking for and the peace that we all want, it won't come directly from a ceasefire or people putting their guns down. Peace is going to come from us talking, from us expressing ourselves and showing acts of love, which is something that a day like this is hinged on. As journalists, we're taking a stand. A lot of us in the region have taken a stance to promote peaceful concepts such as education campaigns, both on offline and online through newspapers and traditional media. Personally, I've taken upon myself to start talking about peace in village meetings and community meetings, because in my work in the council, I have a lot of access to community members and I get to talk to them. I get to meet them on a lot of project meetings. So I've taken the opportunity to talk to them all the time about peace, and especially peace considering where we are now, because a lot of the people in these communities have lost their sons, they've lost their family members. I knew some of these people that have been killed, and all the conditions under which they died. Obviously, there's no nice way to die or to kill a person, I guess. So I've engaged in talking to these people about, let's look for peaceful resolutions where we are now. Yes, people have died. Yes, people, they're not going to come back, and all of that has happened. And how can we change that? And how can we make it better? So I personally engaged in doing that as my efforts towards being the change that I want to see, and my efforts towards changing the community. It's slow, but it's working, because people are actually airing out their concerns, and people are talking, and people are coming out about what is actually giving them pain, and it's changing how they feel. Some of them call me once in a while to tell me they don't feel as hurt or as bitter as they used to feel when all of this thing started. So it's slow, but it's definitely working, which is giving me such a great sense of fulfillment. And I believe it's all our roles in whichever walks of life we find ourselves, to be able to inject peace into our communities through our actions and through our speech as well, because hate speech has become something that is very popular here for causing a lot of violence. Hate speech coming from tribalism, coming from the fact that we speak two different languages in our country. Tega mentioned something about left hand in his country. I'm actually left-handed, so sorry if you see my left hand move a lot. So let me just end. I just want to end this little sharing with this quote that I saw, which has always been very interesting to me. When we avoid conflict, conflict to keep the peace, we start a war within ourselves. So my first approach towards peace has always been expression, people talking it out and saying whatever it is that hurts, however you can possibly say it, in order to feel better. And that way you give room for peace, or that way you give room for solutions to whatever the problem is. All right, I'm done. Thank you very much for the opportunity to talk. It's an honor.
Words that are very, very deep. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, like I said before, all the questions are coming now 10 minutes to the top of the hour, so we can have the answers from the speakers to whom those questions are addressed to. After listening to Sylvia Winding from the Northwest region of Cameroon, it's a troubled zone, but she's very calm and she's shaking her world in the gentle way. We're going to invite Reverend Yamba. Reverend Yamba is a parish pastor at Presbyterian Church in Batiko, but he's joining us all the way from Yaoundé, the nation's political capital. Hello, Reverend. Thanks for joining us. All right, if we don't
I think we've lost Tammy.
No, I'm right here.
Okay.
Okay. If Reverend Yamba is not around, I would like to invite another brother of ours. It's his birthday, so we're celebrating Gandhi, and he is a speaker on the occasion. So they are birthmates. He's joining us from Nairobi, Kenya. He's the Dex editor of African Association of Information. And Jude Atamanke, we invite you to join us on this very important exercise that reminds us of the essence of being the change that we want to see. Happy birthday. I don't know what happened. Hello?
Thanks a lot, Amy. It's happy. I'm very, very happy to be here. Sorry, I've been very busy. Thank God I'm here now. Greetings to everybody. You're all welcome to Nairobi. Nairobi is very sunny today, and we thank God for the good weather. It's also a busy day for me because the Lord permitted me to add another feather to the number of years I have on earth. So it's a very great day for me, and I want to thank you all for your best wishes. And of course, I'm so happy and grateful to be part of the panel today. When we talk about this very important day, so many things come to mind. And when we want to talk about peace, we want to talk about how we can seek peace. The example of Gandhi is really, really clear. And of course, I'm so happy that there is a day set aside to commemorate and honor this great figure. This is an event not only celebrated in India to mark the birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi. It is also celebrated annually on the 2nd of October, and it is one of the 3 national holidays of India. And the UN General Assembly announced on 15 June 2007 that it adopted a resolution which declared that 2nd October is celebrated as the International Day of Non-Violence. All right. And now when we talk about this word non-violence, so many things come to mind. When we talk about non-violence, is it the absence of war? That is the big question. We say there is no violence. It means even people, ladies in particular, go through so much in the hands of some men. I will not generalize because we know of domestic violence, which is very, very, of course, common during this period of lockdown as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. But we also know that as individuals, we all go in, we have in-depth troubles, we have problems that disturb us. And as long as we don't have that inner peace, as long as we are not comfortable with ourselves, we cannot say non-violence is just the absence of war. Even those who have nothing to eat, those who don't have good infrastructure, those who don't have basic commodities to make ends meet, they are suffering. And these are the people that Mahatma Gandhi represented. And when we look at his life and what he did, it is a call for us, especially for journalists today. When we look at the way the media is going about things, the media, some of them, they are not really promoting this aspect of non-violence. You see people getting at each other over nothing. You see people promoting hate speech. You see even when we take a case of Cameroon, for example, this Anglophone crisis. If you see the way people report, the media reports about this particular crisis, you tend to ask yourself the question, are we really reporting to promote peace? Are we really reporting to promote non-violence in our society today? And the last time I was talking about a journalism for construction, that constructs, that builds society. Because as the fourth estate, the media is there to ensure that the people get the right information, the people get the truth, and they make sure that what gets to the public is aimed at building society and not necessarily to make people fight each other, but the journalist should be a role model in our society today. That's why the Association for Catholic Information in Africa is there to at least play that role, because when we see the way others, they report about what is happening in Africa, we tend to ask ourselves the question, is Africa only about war? Is Africa only about violence? Is Africa only about corruption and all the evil things that we hear in the media? There are so many good things in Africa. We have our culture, we have our hospitality, we have our solidarity that is lacking in other parts of the world. But when you watch or you are on online, Facebook, the social media, the image you get about the African continent is different. As peace crusaders today, I believe that should be our focus. Our focus should be to give a new face to the way we report about things concerning our society. That will go a long way to promote this aspect of peace in our society. Target Peace is doing a lot, and these are initiatives that we should encourage. People should be trying to bring us together, for us to brainstorm together and see how we can help our fellow brothers and sisters who are in need. At times, you don't even need to give somebody money. At times, you don't need to give somebody food, but just talking to that person, making that person understand that, my brother, my sister, you are not alone. There are people who care about you, and of course, we form a big family. I mean, showing that solidarity from the African perspective will go a long way to really improve this aspect of non-violence in our society today. And I'm launching an appeal to all the ladies out there watching us from near and far. They should take this as a challenge in order to sensitize their fellow women. This is not time for us to sit quiet and say, "Oh, everything is okay. I cannot speak out because I don't want to lose my marriage. I don't want to do this." We need to talk. We need to speak out, because if what is happening at the level of your home, you keep keeping it, and then for tomorrow it escalates to something else. You start saying, "Oh, this thing started a long time ago." That's what we talk of internal peace. Where there is no peace in the family, society is in danger. So we have the responsibility of making sure that society learns, or the family, the children, and every member of the family gets the basic knowledge of living together, because that is the spirit of the African continent. We are used to, you go to somebody's house, the person will be going up and down. "Oh, my brother, you cannot go like that. You need to eat something." But go elsewhere, it is not the same. You understand? We also look at the level of the Western world. They tell us polygamy is wrong, but they promote homosexuality and lesbianism. Where are we heading to? These are the things that we need to denounce. These are the things that we need to come out and speak against. Gender-based violence is very, very common, not only at the level of the home, but also at the level of the workplace, at the level of society. Amy, you know very well, in Cameroonian society, before you get a job, if you don't have a godfather, you don't have somebody who can really vouch for you, you know what the employers out there, they always ask before they give you the employment. Even the men are not left out. I was getting the news of this young girl, I think her name is Lisette, who was raped recently in Douala, and she later died. These are some of the things that we need to come out against and help parents protect their children. Because if we want to fight all the aspects of violence in our society today, it must begin with the family. The family needs to get an orientation. The family needs to get some kind of a new lease of life in terms of the way they see things. I remember when we were still kids, you know, parental control was not about you going to punch the remote control and set the television so that children they don't have certain things to watch. Parental control those days, if you're watching the TV, your parents are behind you. If you are sitting and then you're watching something, for example, if we used to watch these soap operas, when you see two people, they start discussing, and you know that this thing is going to divert to something else, like a kiss is going to take place in a few moments. You will just see, I'll just look at my sister, and my sister will look at me, and we'll just leave. And our parents will be shaking their heads. "Ah, these are good kids." You understand? The parental control was automatic. You go somewhere with your father or with your mother, before leaving the house, if you go to that place, they give you something, don't eat. And when you go, and maybe somebody offers something to you, you don't even need to look at just the eyes that your mother or your father will look at you, you will adjust. So these are some of the values that we need to bring into our families to make a difference, to make a change. You see that there is no solidarity in our society today because parents have abandoned the education of their children to the mates or to relatives. The relatives, they have their own issues. The mate will come, he or she is there to work his money, and so will not give those values that your kids need. If you want to build a better society, if you want to make Africa great, because Africa is a great continent, if you want to make this continent continue to be a great one, we need to start changing the lifestyle in our families, and of course, adopt those values that we are known for. And with God by our side, we'll go places. I think I've spoken enough. I will just stop here If there are questions later on, then I'll chip in more later. Thank you very much.
A beautiful presentation, and if there are any questions like you said, they'll come on board. So we wrap up that before parting ways. And after listening to you, our good friend from Nairobi, to whom we say Asante and happy birthday once again, I'll invite Seraphine Chiamo, who is joining us as a peace advocate to celebrate and remember Mahatma Gandhi. Hello, Seraphine. Thanks for joining us. Hello, Seraphine. If Seraphine is having some issues with her microphone, I'll be forced to take the next speaker. And this time around, we'll be talking to trauma specialist, Juliet Nalela. Juliet Nalela is joining us all the way from Bamenda. Like Xavier, there are people who have decided intentionally to be the change they want to see. Whether the zone is the trouble zone, and they have bullets left and right every now and then, and they're not so sure and certain about a bright tomorrow. They choose any time to be peace. They choose any time to send out smiles. They choose any time to send out hope. Most of all, keep non-violence as the most powerful weapon. Hello, Nalela. If you're on board, thanks for joining us all the way from Bamenda. Hello, Juliet. I'm afraid she cannot get. I don't know what's happening. All right, while hoping that the Saturday before the top of the hour. If there are any questions, maybe it's time for us to bring forward those questions and let us know who you're addressing the questions to, so the speaker can rapidly address the question before we part ways. I can get you. No, I can get you. Hello, Juliet. Hello. I don't know what's happening with sound now. Can you hear me? Hello. I hope sound is okay. Juliet, if you can hear us, please let us hear from you briefly how you are the change you want to see.
Also, can we regulate what I see on the screen? There's someone who is raising their hand on the screen. Fujo, if we can remove that, can that be removed? It's just all right. That's
okay, it's done. Thank you. Thanks so much, Tiga. I appreciate that. Juliet, are you around? Do we have questions for the day? Any questions?
No, I don't think there are any questions. Juliet has not joined with her audio, unfortunately, so she might have exited and may be coming back.
All right, that's just fine. That's okay. We have 3 minutes to the top of the hour. Are we adding some 10 minutes more?
Yes.
All right, that's fine. Thanks so much.
No.
I'm learning every day. It's been
have all the time.
exciting.
And maybe, okay, so we could maybe ask, you know, Tega to share something on how we are working at our end over here in India with unity in diversity. And we also have an African chapter, in fact, in Kenya and other places where we are coordinating with our sisters and brothers in Cameroon, in Kenya as well. And we've just about set out an internship program, a 1-year internship program with the youth from colleges in Mumbai. And we want to mobilize them in focusing of how we can propagate unity in diversity. India being one of the most diversified cultures of, nth thousands of religions and, other from castes to cultures to languages to you name it, and we are the highest in numbers out of all of that. But the thing is that we need to perpetuate a way forward whereby we can help our youth to come closer globally, so that it just does not remain to do things within ourselves, and actually with all the technology that is available to us. So maybe Tega could throw some light on what all things we could do to bring global youth together. Some small ways where we could help them, mobilize this unity in diversity of the entire world, and thereby perpetuate more peace, more understanding, more acceptance, more, forgiveness, and care and respect and honor for each other.
Yeah, I think
that's a perfect question for Patrick speaker.
So I think the topic on peace is an attractive topic for all the youth all around the globe. The youth of the globe want to hear this word peace, and we can unite around peace. But it's even more interesting when we unite around an icon of peace, like what we're doing now. So every 18th of July, I organize the Legacy of Peace ceremony, or the Peace Legacy Summit, which we celebrate the birthday of Nelson Mandela. And so when I saw Amy also organizing a program like this, oh, what a coincidence! It's a wonderful thing that you're doing just what we're doing here, and that's why I was very excited to be on the program. If we we can look at one of those days again, just like what we've done now, to be able to use this platform, this very platform. I'm sure we are streaming live on Facebook. I don't know, but
yes,
we can do a kind of that kind of a streaming on Facebook, on YouTube, and all of that, and bring as many youth as possible all around the globe. India, last time when we had the program of Nelson Mandela, I also had somebody from India, Gupta, from specifically New Zealand, who spoke so well about India. So we will need to do these kinds of programs more within ourselves, and really look at what is hampering the aspect of peace especially with the youth at the global level. What is the problem? There was a international leadership conference recently organized by the Universal Peace Federation, and I asked a question: what are some of the measures that the West specifically can take to push the African continent specifically, or those areas where they exploited a lot? What are some of the indemnities that can be paid, or compensation that can be done to be able to raise these other set of people to meet up to the standard which the other youth of the world are? We are at a disadvantage because of the fact that we were kept at this disadvantage from slavery to, we don't need to name all of those things, is negative, but this is the reality. It is affecting us. It affected us before. It is affecting us now, and will affect us in the future if we don't take those measures to redress them holistically. It's supposed to be that there is some kind of indemnity that is being done or paid so that they can elevate. Look, for example, the technology we're talking about. Some people can join us. They just can't join us. It's because of this disparity, this vast difference that exists in between us, between the West and the rest of the world. So there need to be these kinds of discussions should continue with the youth, because they are the future. If their fathers are unable to do it now, because the tendency is that I don't want to lose the comfort of the African Union went and sat and decided that we are going to unite the continent only in 2063. Most of them would have died by then. They don't think about leaving a legacy. They don't think about what they have, what they can leave as a name. They think about the comfort that we must enjoy now. We don't want to lose the setup. This setup, the status quo must remain the same. So we need to begin to pass into the youth of the world that all is not right. And I'm happy somebody talked about the aspect of discussion and dialogue when we have issues. When we live with dangerous peace, we think we're in peace. He said that peace is not the absence of war. I think somebody said something. It's not the absence of war, or the absence of war. It is the dialogue we dialogue together. There should be conflict. There should be positive conflict, because when there is conflict, we can solve our problems as we dialogue. There should be not all conflicts are bad. There have to be the situation where we can, there's a problem, we bring out the problem. You don't hide and you are keeping grudges and it's piling up, and one day it will just explode. This is what many of our African countries have experienced for some time. And so we need to change the trajectory as fast as possible. And the medium or forums, I think that will help us a long way to do that. Thank you very much for that question. It was a powerful one.
Thank you so much. Yes, it is extremely important that, for example, I think it is the basic mindset, the basic mindset needs a change overall as well. A simple analogy would be that if you have something that is, stimulating, tantalizing, gossip, you will have 500 forwards of that. But if you have something nice and something progressive and something good to share, you might have just 10 forwards of that. Or same goes with views. So the important thing, I think, to think and put our heads together is that as change makers, how can we make dialogue, peace, and all of these great pillars of society vital, important, crucial, and yet fun for the youth. I always, when we say this part of, the youth is the future, I always contradict and intervene to say they are not just the future, they are the present. They are right here in front of us, and the future, they are going to be old. So let us see what we can do today. Let us see how we can mobilize and utilize their strengths, their enthusiasm, the zest that they have, and bring it about to create that explosion that we need. Because this one-on-one turnaround time, I think, in the society is gone, and everything is kind of catapulting at a very great speed, everything wrong. And therefore, we need to hold the reins of the goodness and see how often can we exchange not just intercultural but international dialogues of, as rightly as Tega said, that problems will always be there. But it is how good are we in thinking about solutions? How good are we in bringing solutions to the table and realizing, first of all, whether I am a part of the problem or whether I am a part of the solution. And that is where we can change mindsets, so that we can come together and help people understand that how we need these more and millions and billions of hands and legs to take this message further, to spread it out for everyone to breathe into this new humanity, the new world, and the paradise that we all want. So I think we should create forums where we ideate with the youth, where we put in our ideas as, sitting on the hot seats in life, where we can influence even 5 people and 10 people. I think that's a ripple effect. It's called the butterfly effect, Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Yeah, and that's why in our organization we're emphasizing on some three particular values. We have interdependence because we're different in different ways. But there are many differences. We have mutual prosperity, and then universal values. These three core ideals can help us to come together all the times to be able to do bigger things. Why? Because when we talk about coming together, somebody already will talk about his religion. He wants his religion to be at the core, the center. If there will be a gathering, it is my religion that's gonna be the head of everything. If we are going to unite and have a peaceful world, the world of everyone one world, it has to be that it is my religion. So that's why the aspect of being interdependent, it should be emphasized even more at this point in time. Universal values. What are the values we share together as people from all around the globe? Then we must emphasize that prosperity is not for a particular race or for a particular group of people. It is for everyone living on the earth. And we've got the resources to make everyone living on the earth to be prosperous. Thank you. Sorry for cutting you.
No, no, not at all. It's perfectly, this
I
is
see Fajr.
the mindset is required. The interdependency and the interconnectedness. Both of these values need to be understood at a very, very deeper level. And I invite all of you, if you could, go and check out globaldialoguefoundation.org. And, we are gathering champions across the world for joining in and creating their own chapters of unity and diversity in each country, in each town, each city, wherever. And all the work that you are doing could come under the global umbrella for us to do work together, whereby we can mobilize it top down, and actually take it to the downline of all the youth that we want to reach in the world. And very well, and very importantly said, Tega, that we need to do this at a very fast pace, so that we change these thoughts of I, me, myself, and my religion, and my this and my that. Realize that we all are one, and till humanity becomes the foremost religion, where all other isms have to be completely eradicated, and humanism remains the only religion for each one of us, it will be difficult for us to survive. Today, COVID has been such a brilliant example of no bias, no religious bias, no status symbol bias, no president, no politician, no this and no that is, scared by it. And that's exactly what the universe and, the supreme power is calling us to realize, that there is no bias in the universe. All of these biases we have created, and only we can, disintegrate all of this, eradicate all of this, so that we can join hands and move towards, again, to repeat, the new humanity.
Thank you. Amen.
I would ask you to come towards the closing, where each one of us could say our closing line, which is an important line for helping our brothers and sisters across the globe to know that the only point of change in the universe is where I stand. Nothing and no one can be changed unless and until we transform and change ourselves. Amy, please take on.
Thank you so much. I am amybanda. I am the change I want to see. Roshani, back to you.
I am roshanishenazz. I am the change I want to see. Tega, I give it to you.
I am Tega King, and I'm the change I want to see. Sylvia, I give it to you.
I am Sylvia Winden, and I am the change I want to see. Jude, over to you.
Judah Temanke, and I'm the change I want to be.
You hand the mic to someone else, Jude.
Fejo, over to you.
You may just want to hand the mic over to Comfort Cozy. She's also joining us from Accra, Ghana. Or am I not saying it correctly? All right. We have a Pastor Dennis in the house. Okay. I'm left to thank you all for your time. It's been an awesome, 1 hour, 30 minutes of talking with you. We're enriching and at the same time empowering. I don't know why I lost my camera just now. I shouldn't be losing. Okay, that's fine. That's okay. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for your wonderful ideas. Thank you so much for your passion to serve humanity. Thank you so much for choosing intentionally to be light workers. Thank you so much for making intentional steps daily as the change you want to see. Thank you so much for even choosing to celebrate Mahatma Gandhi today, reminding us all non-violence is the strongest weapon we can ever have, and love is the priceless gift we could ever possess. Could I say thank you enough to you all? I'll simply borrow the words Medasi from Ghana, Asante from Nairobi. Merci beaucoup for my French listeners in Cameroon or elsewhere in Africa. Shukriya to my friends in India. And thank you all for your time. A very happy Gandhi Jayanti day. Don't you stop being the change you want to see.
Thank you so much, Amy. Thank you, Target Peace, and everyone of our esteemed speakers to be with us today. And we end this session, but rather let us say this is a beginning and not the end. A beginning of each one of you taking on from what is shared here so that you can be the change you want to see in the society and create that ripple effect. I end this session once again, everyone, with this quote of Mahatma Gandhi, which says, "The difference between what we do and what we are capable of doing would suffice to solve most of the world's problems." And this is really, really powerful because we underestimate the capacity and the power of one, the power of an individual. So let us get to our individual socio-spiritual responsibilities and see that we create a new world. Thank you and namaste to everyone. The power within me bows down to the power within you. The potential within me bows down to the potential within you. The consciousness within me bows down to the consciousness within you. Namaste, everyone. Have a lovely day and happy Gandhi Jayanti. May peace be unto all of us. Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you, Roshani. Thank you, Ami.
Thank you, Laurel.
Jude.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jude.
Thank
Thank you, Ami. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you so much. Wow.
Bye-bye, Sylvia.